Today in crypto, Bitcoin just took a very big beating, but is now actually the time to be looking to buy the dip? Is this the best time to actually be buying Bitcoin, or could we actually be going lower? Well, in this video, I'll be showing you exactly when the best time to buy Bitcoin is, and it may not actually be here. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild land of crypto. Okay, so just wow, that all escalated very quickly. Bitcoin over the last 36 hours or so dropped by 17%. Now, if you are new around here, then understand this is all totally normal. Bitcoin does this kind of stuff all of the time. You're going to have these massive drops in the market. It's just a normal part of crypto, so get used to it. Now at this time, $16,500, our first line of support that I mentioned to you yesterday in our video, has held as support with closes on the 4-hour candles finishing just above this area. Now this was a decent place to be putting in some buy orders at. So the question obviously that we do need to ask though is this the best possible time to be buying Bitcoin? By the way, in my opinion, it's basically always a good idea to be buying Bitcoin. Remember our mantra, right? Stack, sats, and chill. Both parts of that phrase are equally important. Step one, stack sats. Just buy a little bit of Bitcoin every week or every 2 weeks, or maybe just buy on red days. Whatever your strategy is, make sure you're actually stacking your sats, right? The second part, chill. Just chill, man. Super important. Get off of the emotional roller coaster that a lot of people find themselves on, the ups and downs. You don't need to do that, man. Just relax. Bitcoin is going to be fine. Zoom out. Longer time horizons here, right? By the way, it is always good to have some dry powder on hand to be able to buy dips when they happen. Remember, you can't scoop up the dip if you don't have any chips. And honestly, I think that a service like BlockFi is perfect for doing this. So you can actually, get your dollars, your USDC or whatever, put it over there, and it's actually earning interest. So it's 8.6% on USDC, 9.3% on USDT. And then when a dip does come along, well, you've got cash on hand and a place where you can immediately buy Bitcoin with it. And of course, you've been earning interest the whole time you've been waiting to buy the dip. And then when you do get your Bitcoin, well, your Bitcoin earns 6% a year, stacking even more sats for you. Now, if you do want to try out earning a passive income with BlockFi, then use the link down below to sign up. And as a bonus for using that link, you can get up to a $250 Bitcoin bonus. Anyway, before I show you the indicators, I just want to mention as well that I've heard time and time again over the last few weeks that this time is different and that there won't be any, super big dips ever again in the market for Bitcoin. That kind of sentiment usually indicates a top, temporarily anyway, for the market. Now, why were people saying this anyway? Oh, the hedge funds and the family offices and the companies and the famous investors, all those big money guys buying Bitcoin. That makes it different. That is indeed different than the last bull run. I'm not going to lie. That was not happening in the last bull run. But it does not mean that the price can't see massive corrections just because they have big money guys in. Those same players are, these guys, the big hedge funds and all this stuff, they go out and they buy stocks and all this other stuff, right? That can also have like 30-40% pullbacks. It's normal in markets. Their involvement does not indicate that corrections won't happen. Their involvement simply indicates that people with huge piles of money are buying Bitcoin. And that's a good thing for us long term, that these institutional players are getting into Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean that corrections won't happen. Likewise, I have heard calls that because PayPal is now selling Bitcoin, there's got to be so much buying pressure that it's going to be impossible for Bitcoin to go down. That's just simply not true. Firstly, PayPal has just launched their service, and while it is a very bullish thing long term, and it has been very popular straight out of the gate, PayPal needs time to build that up. They need time to get their customers familiar with it and actually have people coming over and, getting into that service, right? And secondly, PayPal is a retail-focused service, meaning that retail rules apply. You're going to have people who bought Bitcoin yesterday and they panic sold it for a 10% loss today, because that's what happens. Anyway, let's look at the last bull run for some perspective on when exactly the best buying opportunities are in an uptrending market. And by the way, I'm not saying that this is where the price is going to go next, just that when the price does eventually go to these levels, it tends to be the point of maximum financial return in a bull market. And that whether we test these levels on this particular market correction or we do it, in a few weeks or a few months, this lesson remains very valid. Now, the first I want to show you is the daily moving averages. Super simple stuff here, particularly the 50-day, which is the orange line on the chart, and the 200-day, which is the blue line on the chart. Now, the blue line basically shows the continuation of the bull market. So when we finally see the price of Bitcoin fall below the 200-day moving average, usually means, bad news bears, the end of the bull market potentially happening. But the best buying opportunities in a bull market come from buying when the price of Bitcoin does one of three things. Number one, it touches the blue line, the 200-day moving average, right? It's a rare but incredible opportunity. So if you see that happen, buy, 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 buy. Two, the price drops under the orange line, which is the 50-day moving average. Again, mega buying opportunity. And three, the price drops to touch the orange line, the 50-day moving average, but does not fall under it. Again, a great opportunity. Now, these three things happened about a dozen times during the last bull run, and every single time it happened was an epic buying opportunity. Another good indicator is the relative strength index. Now, anytime the RSI on the daily for Bitcoin has fallen under 50, it has been a great time to buy Bitcoin. And if you see the RSI drop under 30, then it's just like, sell grandma the kids in the kitchen sink kind of opportunity to buy Bitcoin. You should absolutely buy that dip if you see it. Currently, Bitcoin has not even reached an oversold reading on the RSI, so it's not under 50 yet, nor has it come down to touch the 50-day moving average, so we're not hitting that yet either. Now, could Bitcoin still reach these lower readings in the coming days? Yes. We are only 24 hours into the correction right now, and maybe that's going to be it. We have had some aggressive dip buyers coming in, but we could still go lower. During the last bull run, the shortest correction lasted for 3 days. The longest correction lasted for 34 days before finding a bottom. Now, the average time was 7 to 14 days before Bitcoin kind of bottomed out and then started bouncing back. So if we are going to dip further, then it likely won't last for more than 2 weeks at a, kind of the outer maximum there. But, hey, maybe that 17% drop, that was it. It's, game over. We're going to go to the moon now. And to be honest, if you do buy Bitcoin right now, today, then in a year's time, even if it does go lower over the next couple days, you're going to be up so much on your investment in like a year or 2 years or 5 years out. Remember, long-term thinking here. But there's a good chance that we see more selling over the next few days. Not a guarantee, but a good chance. After which Bitcoin is likely to rally to new highs, probably sometime in mid to late December. The important thing for any new investors to learn, I think, here is to separate your short-term and long-term perspectives. Bitcoin going to the moon, long-term. Short-term, big corrections can happen in the market. I think a lot of people get confused about that point. We are still in a bull market, guys. If you were in doubt of that, just zoom out and look at the big picture of what's happening. Anyway, your question for today: how low do you think Bitcoin can go during this market correction? Or was that it? Was that it? Market dump over. Next stop, the moon base. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.